Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over my thoughts on the Modern Warfare 3 beta, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Now, before I begin, I want to just say that this is my personal opinion and these kind of things are always subjective. Some people will share my opinions and others will not. But whatever your thoughts are, I would love to know. So let me know in the comments what you guys liked and didn't like about the beta, and what you were excited for when the full game is released in a little over a week's time. As always, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, and if you are brand new to the channel, smash that subscribe button to see more Modern Warfare 3 content coming real soon. Now, let's get right into the video. Okay, so I want to start this video with what I really liked and what I was super excited to see back. First, I was very happy to see the return of the old Modern Warfare 2 maps of High Rise, Estate, Favela, Skid Row, and Rust. I honestly never thought I would get to play those old maps again, and I was smiling ear to ear the first couple games, guys. Now, while this game isn't Modern Warfare 2, the maps were just as I remembered them from 14 years ago, and I really enjoyed playing them. It was nice that I didn't have to struggle my way through learning any new maps, and I could just play right out the gate. It did take me a few games to remember all the angles, but once I did, it felt just like old times. Now, I realized that it wasn't like this for everybody, and if you are someone who is new to these maps, let me know what you thought. I personally felt like the maps played really well and the flow felt very natural, which leads me into my next point, movement and health. They brought back slide canceling this year, which I am very happy about. This, coupled with slightly higher health and TTK, I think made for more interesting gunfights and more opportunity for outplayability. That being said, this did also make it tougher to win those 2v1s. Overall though, I think this is a good change for the better, and I am curious to see how it plays when all of the old weapons from this past year transfer over to the new game. The next thing I want to touch on is the weapons and the new loadout system. So I used a few different weapons in the beta, and overall they felt pretty good. A few of the guns did feel out of balance, damage and range wise, but I think that's to be expected in the beta. The assault rifles had good range and low recoil. Even the base weapons with no attachments felt good. The MCW I think was a fan favorite in the beta for a lot of people, including me. It had very good range and almost no recoil, so I could see why. The Striker submachine gun was another one that I used a lot in the beta. The mobility with it was great and the range it had was insane. I definitely think this is going to need some balancing for the full game because I was getting kills from way too far away for it being a submachine gun. I also ran the Stinger as my secondary on all my classes in the beta. This, as a secondary weapon, felt very strong. The movement speed was crazy, and the TTK at close range was very fast, especially if you landed those headshots. Now, the snipers, guys. I played mostly with the longbow, and I can tell already that this is going to be a great sniping year. Even with the few attachments that were available, it felt really fast. For me personally, sniping hasn't felt like this for a few years now, and I'm very excited to really dive into it when the full game is released. The next thing I want to touch on is the new gear system. So it looks like they replaced the perk system with gear as a part of your loadout. Instead of your 3 perks, you now have gloves, boots, and gear. I didn't play around with this too much in the beta, but from what I saw, I think it will be a nice change. Overall, gameplay-wise, I really like the direction this game is going. It feels a lot more like a classic arcade shooter. And we finally have red dots back on the minimap, which I think is great. Over the past few years in COD, I feel like they have gone for more realism, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I am very excited that they have decided to take a step back and give the community what I feel like we have been asking for a long time. Now, there is a few things in the beta that I think need to be adjusted. The first thing that I noticed right when I started playing is that I was having a hard time with teammates' visibility and footstep audio. I felt like at times it was hard to distinguish my teammates from the enemies, and I found myself shooting at friendlies close up and at range. The normal red marks above the enemies did not stand out as much as they should have, and it led to a little bit of confusion there. As for footstep audio, I felt like team footsteps and enemy footsteps were almost the same volume, and I found myself whipping around on teammates thinking they were enemies pretty often. Now, it was the beta, so I'm sure these things will get fixed out for the full release, but it was quite annoying nonetheless. The next thing, guys, was the spawns. Not good. I got caught in a few bad spawn traps during my time playing. It was mostly in domination, but there were a few times in TDM as well. This was another thing that I was kind of expecting, but I just hope that they're better at launch and we don't have to wait for a few updates past that just to get them fixed. Now, you guys, the main thing I want to touch on that was just the worst in the beta was the skill-based matchmaking. I feel like they had it turned up to 11, and the fact that it was this bad and it was only the beta, I really hope that it's not even worse in the full build of the game. Now, I'm sure I sound like a broken record talking about SBMM, and it's most likely never going away, but it felt extra, you guys. I thought like 90% of the time I spent playing, it was nothing but sweat lobbies. I used to be one of those players who really played for KD ratio, but honestly, unless you're just going to stick to the meta and camp, I don't think it's going to be worth it anymore. I'm really going to try and focus on just enjoying myself with this new COD, and I think even with the few bad things there is still a lot to look forward to. But with that all being said, you guys, let me know what you're excited for in the full game, and as always, if you are brand new to the channel and enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe. I would love to have you in the community. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.